Hello everyone, today we'll be doing proof by contradiction. So by now, I assume you're familiar with direct proofs. Okay, this is an example of a direct proof. For example, if I ask you to prove this, you just prove from the left hand side to the right hand side. Maybe I'll expand x plus 4 square first, and then later on I'll combine it into x plus 1 times x plus 4 plus 8. Today we're going to uncover a new method of proving called proof by contradiction. So as its name suggests, what we're trying to do is find a contradiction. Okay, so how does proof by contradiction work? First of all, you want to assume the opposite of the statement you want to prove. That's the first step. And if this assumption actually leads to a contradiction, this means that your assumption above is false. And so, if it is false, that a statement is false, which is what this whole thing is trying to say, then it must be true. If this is a little bit confusing, the most important key steps is that you want to assume the opposite of the statement you want to prove. And then, the second step is that you want to try to find a contradiction to this assumption. And after you find this contradiction, this proves your statement. Before we start, when we actually want to talk about proofs, we need to use proper mathematical notation. So if they mention then a number x is even, what we can say is x equals to 2k, where k is an integer. This is because x can be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, can also be negative, -2, -4, -6, and so on and so forth. If a number x is odd, then x equals to 2k plus 1, or you can say as 2k minus 1, again when k is an integer. And finally, if a number x is divisible by like some number a, then x equals to ak, where k is an integer. So for example, if I want x to be divisible by 5, I'll write x equals to 5k, where k is an integer. Alright, let's try a question. Prove by contradiction that if x cubed minus 3x squared plus 7x minus 1 is even, then x is odd. And here they're saying that x is an integer. So again, remember the first step, you want to assume the opposite of the statement you want to prove. In this case, the statement you want to prove is that x is odd. It is not that x cubed minus this whole thing is even, because this over here is your condition, while x is odd is what you actually want to prove. Okay, so the opposite of x being odd is x is even. So you want to assume that x is even. To give another example, let's say the question wants you to prove that x is more than 2. Then the opposite of what you want to prove will be x less than or equals to 2. Okay, let's go back to the question. You want to assume that x is even. And again, if a number is even, we're going to say that x equals to 2k, where k is an integer. In order to find a contradiction, our only hope is to use the condition where x cubed minus 3x squared plus 7x minus 1 is supposed to be an even number. So maybe we can find a contradiction with that. Let's say we substitute 2k in, and after you do a little bit of simplification, you should get something in the form of this. And can you see something special about this? If a number x is odd, then x will be equals to 2k minus 1, where k is an integer. In this case, do you realize that this over here is an integer? So we can write it in the form of 2p minus 1, where p is an integer. And we can say that this is odd, and I'll put my contradiction sign over here. Okay, since we have reached a contradiction where this says even, but we actually get odd over here, then this means that we can just say that this is proven true. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video has helped you understand how proof by contradiction works and how to use this principle to solve questions. Thank you so much for watching.